And then verse 23, we also see just like the weak view of Jesus that the Father has. And this one he doesn't get as angry about. This one actually Jesus is pretty calm. But listen to what verse 23 says, or verse 22. And it has often cast him into fire and into water to destroy him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. If you can do anything. And Jesus said, if you can. If you can. And so, how tempting does it have to be to say, you should have seen me 10 minutes ago, buddy. I'm the King of glory. You'd have seen the eternal glory of God being brightly shown to everybody around. You should have seen me 10 minutes ago. I created this boy. I created his father. This is my creation. I say when people are going to come and when people are going to go. What do you mean, if you can? And if I'm Jesus here, I go off on this guy. I think you have no idea. You have no idea. You're dead. You have no idea who I am. You have no idea who I am. Jesus doesn't, though. Jesus is beautiful. Jesus is beautiful. He's patient. He's kind. He's compassionate. He's humble. He's powerful. He's all the things we want to be in these situations. In these situations, he is all the things we want to be. Absolutely humble. Absolutely kind. And all powerful. Verse 24, the man says, I believe. 24, immediately the father of the child cried out and said, I believe, help my unbelief. Now, there's something pretty important to remember in verse 23. Jesus said to him, if you can. Then he says, all things are possible for one who believes. Now, okay, what this doesn't mean is that Walt Disney was right all along. Okay? I've heard some really bad preaching about these kind of verses. You turn the TV on, you hear some really bad preaching. You hear stuff like, if you just believe that you can have that promotion, then you can get it. If this couple who doesn't have a child just believes that they're going to have a couple, then they'll have a couple children. If they have a child, then they'll have it. If you believe that your small business will be successful, then it'll be successful. If I believe that I can dunk a basketball tomorrow, I can do it. Also, pigs are going to fly out of my ears, and they're going to lay golden eggs, and I'm going to be a millionaire. I just believe that it's going to happen. No, that's not what this is talking about. It doesn't mean anything that we can dream up in our own weird little imaginations is going to happen. It's not what it means at all. What it means, and Paul and Jesus are both pretty good examples, biblical examples for us. What it means is that anything God introduces to your life, He can deliver you from. He can empower you for. He can give you strength for. Whatever cross He lays on your back, He can give you the fortitude and the grace to carry it around with you. Whatever terrible stuff He allows in your life, He can give you the strength, He can give you the grace, and He has all kinds of ways of doing this. God can deliver you however He wants. God can deliver you. And the only thing that's needed on our part is belief. Not just belief in general, not just if you wish upon a star, but belief in Jesus Christ and the great work He's already done for us. This is what we believe in. We believe in something concrete. We believe in an actual historical fact, a theological truth. Jesus Christ died for us. And this is what he's talking about. You can't just believe that tomorrow you're going to be loaded. Tomorrow that woman that you want to love you is going to love you. Or that man you don't just believe. No, this is not what it's talking about here. So it's just a quick aside, just in case you're confused, or just in case you heard somebody nowhere near as biblically smart as me try to unpack that passage for you. Now you have the truth. Just trust me. And see, what you do is you take the Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul has this thorn in his flesh, right? And he prays. He prays to God. And he says, God, will you please deliver me from this? Will you please take this away from me? Do you think Paul wasn't believing? Do you think Paul just didn't believe hard enough? Are we going to go up to the Apostle Paul and say, now if you just believed more, God would have taken... No. God did deliver Paul, but He did it the way He wanted to. He delivered Paul, but he did it the way He wanted to. Jesus Christ, at the very end of His earthly life, He says to God, he says, if it's your will, would you please let this cup pass from me? He's saying, would you please excuse me from the torture and the pain that's coming up? Is there any way, God, you can get me out of this? This is what Jesus Christ prayed. Are we going to tell Jesus that you didn't believe enough? No, we're not going to say that. We're going to say God. We're going to say God delivered Jesus, because He definitely did. He definitely did. We're going to say God exalted Jesus, because He definitely did. But God the Father did it His way, according to His great plan. And so if you believe that terrible trial in your life is not unbearable, it's not. This goes along with a whole bunch of other promises the New Testament makes for us. We have grace for every single trial we go through. This is what this promise is talking about. And what's needed is belief in Jesus Christ. And so that's, okay, I'm done. I'm done with that little, anyhow. But on to verse 24. And this is where I find myself kind of thinking and talking the way this man does. Verse 24. Immediately the father of the child cries out and said, I believe, help my unbelief. This guy is a lot like the way we are, oftentimes. A lot of us would say, yes, I believe in Jesus. Yes, I believe in Jesus. But there's a whole bunch of stuff about our life that sort of betrays the fact that we're struggling with that. And we are, in our honest moments, say, yes, I absolutely believe in Jesus. Yes, I believe the gospel is enough. Yes, I believe Jesus is getting me to heaven. Yes, I believe I don't need anything else but Jesus Christ. I believe, but there's a whole bunch of me that's conflicted. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in my head and my heart that's just conflicted on this point. I struggle to believe. Yes, I believe. Yes, if you get down to where I am, to the deepest corners of my mind and my heart, I definitely believe in Jesus Christ. I definitely do. But at the same time, there's a whole bunch of doubt. There's a whole bunch of days of faithlessness. There's a whole bunch of faithless actions where I try to take things in my own hands and micromanage things and manufacture results and do things that Jesus has promised He's going to do for me. I try to do it. I try to take it over. I struggle this way. This is what the man is saying. The man is saying, I definitely believe. Just please give me more belief. I have faith. Please give me more. Because there are many parts of my heart and my mind where faith is just not super alive. I'm struggling. He says, give me more belief. And what we see, and this is something that I hope we can all get. What we see is you don't need strong faith. You don't need powerful faith. You don't need to read these Christian biographies and look at these guys and these women and imagine them as these great heroes and say, boy, I wish I was like that. I wish I had that in me. I wish I had that willpower. I wish I had that determination. I wish I had that great faith. No, we don't need an amount of faith. You understand? We don't need like a strength of faith. You see some people and you say, man, they just believe better than I do. They just have faith better than I do. They're just more calm than I am. They just don't struggle the way I do. We're not talking here in this passage, and this passage should put this to rest for us. We're not talking about an amount of faith. We're talking about where our faith is placed. In whom our faith is placed. We put our faith, whatever it looks like, however it feels, whatever we've got, we put it in Jesus Christ. Every single ounce of faith that we can muster, we put it in Jesus Christ. See, what had happened here is exactly what needs to happen to us. This man had come to the end of his rope. He had come to the end. He was done. He had no more options. He had no more ideas. He had no more doctors he could go to. He had no more anything. He was done.